Hello, this is John Miller, the creator of The Rest of Everest. I think I can safely say that this show is, without a doubt, the most in-depth look into the entire experience of what it takes to climb Everest, as well as some other peaks throughout the Himalayas. But all of the events in the series are shown in chronological order, so if you're new to the show, please go all the way back to episode 000 and watch everything in order. That's truly the best way to enjoy it. Thanks. The DVD for our film Everest the Other Side is now in stock and shipping. Please head on over to everesttheotherside.com to grab your copy. I am my own shipping department and personally mail each of the DVDs so I can fulfill each order within about 24 hours after it's been placed. Thank you to everyone who placed a pre-order. We could not have completed the DVD without your support.
This is the Rest of Everest video podcast, an almost unabridged expedition experience. Episode 124, A Change in the Air.
Hello again, everyone. Welcome back to the Rest of Everest. I'm John Miller. Same big group this week that we had last week, although last week we did lose Steve Wolf during the Skype conversation about the episode, so he is back this week via mobile phone. So we've got Steve Wolf, Kyle Anderson, John Coleman, Tilo Schumann, John Farah, Jeff Coe, Megan Sarge, and Chris. Chris and Monica are actually both on the same call, coming in from Germany as well. So how are all of you guys doing this week?
Pretty good.
Hey. Fine, thank you.
Did I miss anyone?
Hey,
I think that's everyone. Yeah, Steve Wolf calls me cousin. We'll get into that in a later episode. But so this week we're going to rejoin the trek between Dingboche and Dingboche, and we're just about to get above the tree line. This hike was absolutely beautiful. The weather was still holding, and really look forward to showing everyone all of what we are about to see. So let's get up just to below tree line here, and let's rejoin the trek. So here we go. Steve, you should walk a little bit closer to the edge there, like me.
Okay. Yeah.
It's very safe.
And so along this whole way, we're walking right next to the river. It's pretty dramatic. So what do you think, Steve?
Beautiful. You know, you come, I guess, to see the mountains. And I've been trying to think of the best word. The best I've come up with so far is glorious. But things like the river down there, it's just nice too. And all the countryside, hearing the birds, the different vegetation we're seeing, and the people, meeting all the people. It's just all kinds of great experiences.
How are you feeling today?
Kind of medium. So the second day, at least the last half, I felt terrible. Yesterday I felt great. Ended up getting into camp with the first group and ran back down to find Andy, who was botanizing along the way, and walked back up with her. And today, kind of medium in between those two. Closer to the good end.
Why are you qualifying as medium? What's causing you to feel medium?
Still a little bit of stomach problem. Yeah, a little less energy, I'd say, than yesterday.
How high are we right now?
Well, let's see, we started out this morning at 12:06. Oh, now we're at 10 in the morning. Oops, gone too far. Now I have to go all the way around. Okay, we're back to 10:05. One more. Okay. 12:02 and meters. If I can get the right button. About 3,700 meters. And heading up as close as I could figure to about 14,200 today. And I don't remember what that was in meters. I think around 4,400 meters, if I remember correctly. So that's about 6 hours ahead of us, I believe. in Dingboche.
Hey, John Coleman, how are you feeling today?
A little less energy than usual for some reason today. I don't know what's up with that. I had a good breakfast, got a good night's sleep, but for some reason I'm just kind of dragging a little more than normal today. So I guess I'll just keep my pace at good slow rate, and I should be good today.
That's actually what Sonam said last night. And even if you go slow, you'll make it in like 6 hours.
Okay.
6 or 7 hours. So
yeah, so I'm just gonna
should be work out pretty well.
Yeah, so I'll just keep this pace going, and should be no problem.
And the lucky thing about today is actually that we're still going to do a fairly large altitude gain. Get these guys in the shot here, if I can. There they are. Almost. Let's see. I'll step this way. There we go. We will do a fairly large altitude gain, similar to what we've been doing in the past, but we understand that it's going to be much more gradual. The distance we'll be hiking today will be greater, but I think everyone's happier doing distance as opposed to they'd rather do long distance and have it less steep than do shorter distance and have it more steep. So I don't believe there's going to be as many stairs today, and I think everyone is very thankful for that. Stairs are definitely our nemesis. Stairs have been sapping our strength because these stairs are big. Usually they're about 18-inch steps, so that's too much, too fast.
Yak-sized.
Yeah, a couple of those, and then I stop and rest. Take a big breath, and then do a couple more. And just kind of get in that, what do you call it, that kind of pace. So take 2 or 3 steps, stop, and then 2 or 3 more. And that seemed to work really well yesterday. On this type of trail, where it's just a dirt trail with a slight slope, just keep a slow, steady pace where you keep your breath under control, and it's not bad. Take those stairs too quickly. Oh man.
There goes your day.
Yep.
Yeah, I've been kind of practicing a little bit of walking meditation to kind of keep my pace at the right pace, because that kind of, when chanting in your head, it keeps you moving really regular and keeps you from speeding up too much, or even worse, slowing down too much and falling way behind.
What kind of mantras have you been saying in your head?
Just the basic Om Mani Padme, just that, just kind of repeating that over and over. And a lot of times that's enough to keep the pace. So.
Now, John, you're extremely interested in Buddhism, and I'm guessing Tibetan Buddhism in particular, which is what the flavor is out here.
Right.
How did you enjoy the monastery a little bit ago?
That has been the high point of the trip so far. It was pretty overwhelmed when we finally got up there last night. So I think that was the part of the trip I was most looking forward to. I'm also really looking forward to base camp and all that, but that's been a definite high point for me so far. Very powerful moment.
I believe it was Chris. You told me you were using, was it rawhide? Was what you had going on in your head to keep you moving?
Yeah, rolling. That's what was going on for me. It was walking. Rolling. Step. Yeah. It worked.
Whatever works.
It worked.
Yeah, that's great.
Just as a note, I hate when people do that. I have no idea why people do that.
You ever looked in a mirror?
Thanks. Yeah, I think did everyone have some sort of endlessly looping song in their head? I always seem to do Depeche Mode. I don't know why.
Yeah. For me, it was this terrible Om Mani Padme Hum song.
Oh,
you heard everywhere when you went to Mel.
From Kathmandu.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the one that's at all the it's on the gift shops.
Yeah.
Yep. That works pretty well.
I wish I thought of that technique. I didn't think of it at the time.
I didn't even think of it as a technique. It just happened. I just happened to get this Rawhide theme song stuck in my head, and it didn't go away. So actually, it was a bit of a curse.
And at least you had the Blues Brothers version in your head, correct?
Exactly. I don't even know the regular version. We didn't ever have that here on TV, so I was blessed from that point.
That's good.
Well, at least it wasn't the theme for Hogan's Heroes.
Oh, split cam.
John filming you, is that you filming me?
It's John filming John.
John filming John. Both with a red shirt.
Wearing red.
Oh, the old lady who didn't want to be filmed. I remember that.
Uh-huh.
We saw her more than once.
Did we? I don't remember.
I saw somebody look just like her on the way down with the same wicker basket full of sticks.
That's me filming now, and she was almost shouting at me. I guess there are quite a few tourists up there at times, so people get filmed a lot.
Well, you know, that's something I was going to say, that, you know, there is a lot of tourist traffic up here, but I'll hear what Chris has to say here. He looks tired. We all look tired, but actually, you know, you still get a lot of time just walking by yourself.
Okay, next climb coming up. I think.
You know how
we were promised that, well, it says roughly 3,800 meters, and I think
right here.
Right here. That's what GPS tells me. The barometer tells me roughly the same, and we are supposed to go up to. I've mixed information. I've heard 4,200. I've heard 4,400, and the truth is somewhere in between. And obviously, as usual, we've been given durations that also vary between a few hours and a lot of hours. So depends on your, I guess, on your sense of on your frame of reference.
When will we get there? When we get there.
We get there when we get there. And yesterday I've practiced walking slow, and that was a really good thing because I arrived without being totally exhausted, as opposed to the hike up to Namche Bazaar, which I didn't think I could do. Now, yesterday that was doable. It was still difficult, but doable. And this one is not supposed to have so many huge big steps, but a bit more of a shallow incline, so we'll hopefully be able to just walk through most of the time. That's what I hope.
Yeah, you can tell Namche Bazaar was really my big test.
Megan, I saw you had a handkerchief over your mouth. Did you hike that way a lot? Did you find it necessary?
Well, it was hard to hike that way a lot because it was harder to breathe through it. But it was necessary with all the dust and just the cold air.
Yeah, you definitely see it a lot. You see a lot of face masks. Sonam, in particular, wore one a lot. And we'll see Andy wearing one higher up. But yeah, that kind of thing, I can't do it, but I know a lot of people actually prefer to hike that way. But I'm not claustrophobic, but I get claustrophobic at altitude. You're in this huge wide open area and I'm getting claustrophobic, but it's all because of face mask.
I just couldn't get enough air in with the masks on. Just couldn't do it. I just didn't worry about the dust.
Yeah, our lungs are pretty good at coughing most of that out again.
I was coughing all the time, with or without the mask.
Yeah,
so.
Monica, you were famous for coughing.
This is John Farrah's footage here, I believe. It's so nice to have so many different video cameras rolling. It's nice to get everyone's different perspective on the events here. So this was a nice little rest break at the end of that bridge.
I think if you have many cameras, you have alive the situation. If I have the feeling now and the moment I was on this location.
Oh, really? That's good. I'm glad it brings you back.
So did you like my sideways video from last week?
It's all usable.
It's funny how much the weather changed from one day to the next. I remember it was actually unusually warm that day. I mean, I noticed that John, both me and you were walking around in short-sleeve shirts that day.
Mm-hmm.
And then like a day later, it's a blizzard.
Actually, I think in this episode, the weather changes.
Well, yeah, later the same day. I mean, we were all relatively lightly dressed and then put on the heavy stuff afterwards.
Yeah, I didn't pack my jacket, so... Yeah, that was the time that Sonam let me borrow his. Yeah.
What are we seeing there?
Those would appear to be water-driven prayer wheels.
Just trying to take a picture?
Yeah, just stop, take a picture.
Won't be easy, will it?
What's that?
Won't be easy. Look at how dark it's in there.
Yeah, I at least got a picture of the structures themselves. Yeah, I'm sure the prayer wheels will be completely invisible in the photo, but oh well.
Oh.
I'll know they're in there.
You get out of the way. Lots of traffic here.
Yes.
Did you see that right there? Those two porters? They came across and they just realized they knew each other. And you see that happen all the time. They only see their feet. So, right now I'm the first of our group to arrive here at the lunch spot. Today is, I believe it's May 10th here in Nepal. Yep, it's just past 11:30 in the morning. And I was a little bit slow right when we started. Still a little bit groggy waking up. But then my energy levels came back and felt really good. So I was able to stay right at the very front of the pack. We always have a Sherpa who's at the very beginning, and he is sort of he's the guide. He makes sure that people follow the correct trails because there's usually so many of them. And I wanted to just kind of focus on the hiking right now. Didn't want to film everything. I seemed to keep falling to the very end, and then beyond the end, everyone was passing me, and it's always difficult to catch up when you do as much filming as you'd like to do. So, in any case, we came across there's this big wide open area where there's all these flat little grass fields, and it turns out that there's actually a helicopter landing pad. So if you are sick, if you can make it here, you can have a heli-rescue. So we came across two Nepali men, two Sherpas, on the trail, and I was looking at one who was talking and just wasn't thinking about anything, and then looked at the other man, and I looked at him for a second, then I was like, my goodness, that's Dawa. That's my friend Dawa. He was the cook in the 2003 expedition. I have not seen him since I left Kathmandu in 2003, and for me, he is one of the reasons I'm on this trek, because I really wanted to, see him in person again and spend a little time. So he is the base camp cook for Mountain Tribe's climbing group who are trying to attempt Everest this year, and he always is. He's always the base camp cook at Everest, no matter what side of the mountain they're on. So he knew just who I was right away. He's like, John, how are you? And I don't think he was expecting to see me either today, at least. He knew we were coming up, but he wasn't expecting to see me today. He has a client who is really in a bad way right now with altitude sickness or some other illness, and so he's having to be put on a helicopter today and then taken to Kathmandu and then flying back to the United States probably day after tomorrow, or maybe just tomorrow. So hopefully he'll be fine, and so got to, that one I hugged a couple times, and
he's going to stay down here for a couple of days, but then he's going to just go straight up to base camp. He's probably been at base camp for almost a month and a half now, if not just a little bit over a month. So he's going to be pretty well acclimatized, and he's also, the Sherpa people are just amazing up here in these altitudes. And so I look forward to seeing him when we get up there, and he said it will not be a problem for us to stay at base camp. We were informed by Karma down in Kathmandu that it might be a little bit crowded and they might not have room for us, since so many climbers have decided against even trying to get a permit for the north side, because the north side's been pretty much shut down for last season, and then it was shut down until late this season, and so everyone's focusing on the south side. So there's just not a whole lot of space right now. I think it's kind of shoulder to shoulder right now in base camp. So I look forward to seeing that. But I guess when we get up to base camp, some of the climbers are going to probably, I guess most of the team up there are going to come down in altitude for a little bit for a rest, so they can really regain some strength, and then be able to attempt the summit and be as successful as possible. So while we're there, they'll be down here, and then we're only going to spend one night maximum at base camp. And then when we leave, then of course we'll be vacating their tents, so they can come back anytime they want it. So works out pretty good, and yeah, it's just so good to see Dawa. I just saw his face, and it's pretty cool to see someone that you're so familiar with halfway around the world, and you haven't seen him in 6 years. And so it's good. So I'm really excited to spend some time and kind of relate some stories, get some of the gossip on some of the other climbers that I know, that we mutually know, and yeah, just kind of hang out for a little bit and introduce everyone to Dawa, because he is truly one of the reasons why my 2003 experience at Everest changed my life, just absolutely changed my life. As you can see, I wouldn't be here right now if that experience hadn't changed my life. So I really want to thank him for that in person, and was hoping to have that experience in 2007. He was going to be on the north side in 2007, but at the last minute, the permit was kind of traded in for a south side permit 2 weeks before the expedition was to start. So he was already here at the south side in Nepal at Everest south side base camp when Scott and I arrived. So I was really disappointed, but now I'll get to make up for that. So now it's time for lunch, and then we're going to press on. I'm currently at, let's see, just under 13,000 feet, plus or minus 100 feet. So I'm at 12,850. So we'll be at 13,000 feet shortly, and then just keep making our way up from there. Tomorrow's a rest day, so a few people are really feeling the altitude right now, and Tilo especially right now. I'm a little bit worried about him, so hopefully the rest day tomorrow will do wonders, because I think he just needs to sort of be still a little bit, just breathe, drink a lot of water, stay extremely hydrated. It's very dry up here right now, so he needs to get some good sleep too. That's going to be crucial. And he's fighting a bit of a cold, so it's just sapping his strength. So hopefully we can get him taken care of and keep the rest of the group happy and healthy. And now, time for lunch.
I was worried about each and every one of you at some point along the trek, and everyone just came through with flying colors. Just truly proud of all of you.
And you did an awesome job looking after all of us.
Thank you.
Monica?
Oh, quite fine.
Yeah?
The first water is coming in solid form.
Yeah. We're getting a little bit of snow.
Yeah. It's a little bit cool, but I have everything with me.
Yeah, you.
It's quite fine. But breathing becomes harder. Much harder.
Apparently if we walk slowly, 1.5 hours left.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Think that's doable?
Huh? Excuse me?
Is that okay?
That's okay.
Yeah, good.
Perfect for me.
I have no idea if it was an hour and a half from there. It might have been like 3 hours.
Just making it up, huh?
Yep. So as you can see, we're getting just the very beginning of a little bit of snow.
Yeah,
it's actually more like grapple, which is sort of those look like little styrofoam pellets that you can get hit with once in a while, and that's very common to get. And it seems interesting though. We've been followed by a dog that I'm not sure if it's the same dog that I've filmed on the first night after the hike in from Lukla, but it sure looks like it might be at least one of the dogs. But I spent a little bit of time loving on it, petting it behind the ears and everything after lunch, and I don't know if that's one of the reasons why it's following us, but maybe it belongs to one of the Sherpas or something. But I'm trying to see if I can find it, and you guys can, there it is, you guys can see what you think, if it looks like it's familiar. Chris Marquardt's been hooking me up with these sage lozenges. They're German, they're sweetened, and they're just delicious. You hear sage in terms of a lozenge, and maybe doesn't sound like it'd be very great, but they're delicious. I just love them. Here's our I don't even know what you call it, like our hitchhiker. So see what you think.
I love dogs. I love cats.
Somebody's telling me, I guess they're mostly just strays, and they can tell the difference between the locals and the tourists. And when they know you're a tourist, I guess they follow you because they know the tourists actually feed them, whereas the locals generally just throw rocks at them and shoo them away.
Yeah, and I promise, John, I'm going to bring you some sage lozenges for next week's trip.
I think I ate half your supply.
Oh yeah, I'll bring some. I'll just bring a few more. No problem.
That's important to always kind of, if you start getting scratchy, have a lozenge going at all times. It really helps.
Trying to get him to talk to me, but it's been very clear that he only speaks Nepali or Sherpa, doesn't speak English. Oh well. Happy to have him along.
Hello.
What are you working on?
I'm just kind of weatherproofing my day pack a little bit. Try to keep some of the water / snow / mixture that we're kind of having here. So I just got this waterproof cover that I picked up that just bungee ties onto there. And got a fresh bottle of water here. So I think I'm all set to continue the journey.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how far we are from Dingboche, but I imagine another hour and a half, and hour and a half. Mm-hmm. And we'll be there, and we can warm up with some tea, and it won't be long before it's dinner time.
How'd you like the dining tent from last night, which we'll probably have again?
It was great. It really made me feel like we're on an expedition, and from seeing previous episodes of your podcast, seeing everyone gathered around in a dining tent was great, and that's what I felt like last night as we're all sitting in there talking, having dinner together. It was great. Yeah, that was great. I think the group is starting to bond well. It's a great group of people, very diverse and friendly. So yeah, I'm having a great time getting to know everybody. Yeah,
and how are you feeling now that we're hitting some real altitude?
I feel pretty good. I don't, to be honest, really feel like I'm having any altitude-related symptoms. Mm-hmm. I've been drinking lots of water. I've been trying to get in 7 or 8 liters, actually, per day, which I've been managing to do. And I've been taking the Diamox since I got to Lukla. And I feel great. I don't have any headaches, nausea. My appetite is still okay at this point anyway. But we'll see how things go once we get higher. But so far, so good.
So how are you feeling? We've been hiking together for the past hour or so.
Well, I feel pretty good. I have a real mild headache right now, but nothing horrible. I have been taking Diamox at a relatively low dose. I think I'll increase the dose slightly. I think that'll make a difference. My stamina is pretty good because as long as we're not going up a hill, I can motor along pretty well. When we start to go up a hill and I need more oxygen, I can really notice a difference. It's been a great trip so far. It's been everything that I hoped it would be and more. You've taught me some video tricks. Chris has taught me a lot of photography stuff. I'm looking forward to learning even more. We've been able to see Everest on at least, we saw Everest basically the whole day yesterday during our hike, and saw it from our camp at Dingboche. It was great seeing the monastery and seeing bits of the culture. It was quite amazing, actually, and it's amazing how the loads the Nepalese natives carry as they go motoring right along. It's unbelievable. I mean, this is the, if you will, the super highway to Mount Everest. There's a lot of traffic in both directions, but none of it vehicular. Animals, maybe 10% to 20%, and humans the rest. And I would say 80% of the humans are carrying a very substantial load, which is just amazing.
Tell me about the altitude milestone you just passed a little while ago.
I am now at the highest altitude that I've ever been outside of an airplane, outside of a pressurized airplane. And with each step higher, I break that record still. I think the highest I'd been before was when my wife and I had first met, actually, on a ski trip in Telluride. And I think the highest lift is somewhere between 12,000 and 13,000 feet. We had lunch at 13,000 feet, and we're at about 13,800 now, maybe even higher than that. In fact, let's pull out the old GPS and let's see where we are. So 13,773. And the little variations you see there are probably due to variations in the satellite. We got another 700 feet to go or so, I guess, maybe a little bit less, maybe 600. I'm grateful to you for teaching me the warm Fanta bottle trick. Put some hot water in the Fanta bottles. All the water here is warmed, and stick them in your pocket. Put your hands on it. Helps keep you warm. So thank you for sharing that. Of course, you get to drink the Fanta first. That's also fun. It's been a great group.
Anybody have any extra warm layers?
And everybody's bonding well, I think. It's everybody's got their unique personalities and bring something to the event. And it's been a lot of fun, and something I never thought I'd ever do in my life, quite honestly. I never thought I'd ever do this. But now that I've done this once, or I hope to have done this once by the end of the week or so, perhaps come back again, perhaps get into a little mountaineering, perhaps do some trekking with my family. We'll see. We'll see where it'll go.
Thanks, Jeff. Jeff, I have to make fun of you for a second. You were the king of mispronunciation.
Yeah, I noticed.
Dingboche. Personally, I can't wait till we get up to the little town of La Bouche.
La Bouche.
Oh, here's this bridge coming up. And this bridge was actually replaced.
Down and get back up.
Yeah, it was replaced and totally rebuilt by the time we came back the other direction.
And everything, all that iron and everything you see there, all that steel, it was all brought up on someone's back or a couple of guys' backs. Amazing.
Yep.
Hey, Kyle.
That bridge was scary.
Yeah.
Kyle, how are you feeling this day? Because we don't have much footage of you.
Well,
on this day?
I was feeling really good the previous day, and I was feeling really good, and I ran in Dingboche, and so the next morning I felt really, really tired, and I started feeling sick, and I didn't pack the gear, and I didn't have any waterproof stuff, and it was kind of downhill.
Yeah, you were saying you had to borrow one of Sonam's jackets, but
yeah,
wow, that can certainly sap your energy if you don't have warm enough clothing with you.
Yeah, the weather that morning was quite deceiving.
Yeah, it was.
It was quite the change. And that was definitely the scariest bridge crossing of the whole trip.
What were you going to say there, Steve?
I was going to say, you guys were there quite a bit earlier than I was, because by the time we got here, it was covered with snow.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Well, next week, we actually, this I believe is the last footage we have before we get into Dingboche. As everyone kind of mentioned, starting to tire down this day, and when you start getting tired, you start filming less and less and less. At least that's the case with me. But we'll start next week actually in Dingboche, and we ended up spending an extra day in Dingboche above what we were going to. We were already going to spend a rest day there, but the weather really did catch up with us, and we kind of had a situation where the weather was so terrible that we thought we might not actually be able to go any higher. So we do have a few days in Dingboche, but the next day happened to be John Farrah's birthday, so we actually have quite a lot of fun footage from the birthday events. I'm gonna, the sculptures, the notes, the sculptures will definitely stick in your memory after you see them. What we can show you of them, but
gotta avoid the explicit tag.
There will be a lot of blurring on the screen in the next episode, but it was a lot of fun, and it kind of just shows you just how much fun our staff was, and just how they really they were able to have a good time with us, and so it was just a great experience. So thanks everyone, appreciate having you here, and look forward to the next recording session, because this stuff's just getting more and more interesting to me. The higher we get, the more that we get to know each other, and the more that everyone is really becoming seasoned at altitude and in the extreme conditions up here, and everyone's getting more rugged and more self-confident. For me, it's great watching this stuff and watching the change that's coming over everyone. So thanks so much, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, and talk to you next year.
All right, we'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. The Rest of Everest is downloaded all over the world every day, and watching the show has become a part of many people's weekly routine. The show will always be free to download, but it's by no means free to produce. Please help me cover my costs by making a small monthly or one-time donation from the right sidebar on my website, and in return I'll give you some cool bonus materials. A donation of any amount will grant you access to some interesting video content, including high-definition versions of several podcast episodes. A one-time donation of $25 or more, or any of the monthly donation options, will additionally grant you access to a downloadable version of the film Everest: The Other Side, which episodes 1 to 61 are based on. I really cannot express how vital these donations are, and if you've made a donation, thank you so much. As always, our announcer is Marlon May, and our music is provided by Wendy Wu. Check her out at wendywu.com. Thanks so much, everyone, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you for watching The Rest of Everest. For more information on the expedition, please visit therestofeverest.com.